We're going to do the horizontal weave for our state board. We are always going to do this on the right side of the head. And some of the things that you want to make sure that you do, you have nice clean lines. So if you notice, the first subsection that we did is about 1/4 inch. You're going to take and skim off the top because you want this to be nice and thin. And then when we weave it, we're going to pick up one, drop two, pick up one, drop two, pick up one, drop two, pick up one. So this is all that's actually going to go into that weave. So we're going to take our foil, and there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. I'm going to use my pintail comb today. When you put this down, because it's nice and thin, you notice how close to the scalp I can get. So now what I'm going to do is just shimmy this. Make sure that we have plenty of product. It's well saturated. Then we're going to fold this up. And you know, State Board does not have a specific way that you can do this because they recognize that all schools teach a little bit differently. But some of the things that they look for is that you do not fold this packet too thin. If you notice, this is folded right at the very end of that section, and it's not pulling. If it's pulling it away from the scalp, that would not be good. Okay, so now we're going to take another section that is, again, about 1/4 inch, and think of about the size of a number 2 pencil is 1/4 inch. I do like to have references, so that will help you to determine how thin it is. And again, we're going to skim the top. Okay, this is going to be our blend section. When we skim the top, we're going to pick up one, drop two, pick up one, drop two, pick up one, drop two, and do that whole line like that. Now, the reason why we do that is so that it can be nice and thin, but you can also see it very well. When this goes down, notice how close to the scalp that is. You want to go as close as you can. Hold your foil. Make sure it doesn't pull away from the scalp. So even if you're lifting this, just be careful that it doesn't pull away from the scalp. This is going to go down. I'm going to tap it off. So if you notice, I'm going to the end of where that part is. And then I'm going to go right here to the end of this part and let it hang down. So we're going to take another one. So what did we say, 1/4 inch? Get this out of your way. Skim the top. And then again, we're going to pick up one, drop two, 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 and then I think I have just a little bit on the end here. Then when we take our foil, I want you to notice just how close it is to that scalp, and that's because of having that thin section. If you need to do more, then just make sure that you keep them thin because that's what's going to keep them close to the scalp. Be very careful. Notice that even though I applied it, it's still real close to the scalp. Then fold it here. Notice it's still close to the scalp. Make this nice and tidy. Go to that edge. fold it, go to this edge, fold it, and then let's do another one. 1/4 of an inch, size of a pencil. Notice that I'm keeping this neat and I'm also putting it back in that clip. We're going to skim the top. We're doing pick up 1, drop 2, 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 and pick up 1. Now what you want to do, there is no specific amount of foils, but what they're looking for you to do is complete the section. So you want to make sure that the last foil that you do, you don't have any hair left at the top, because they may think that you didn't finish the section. So we're going to fold it again. Make sure that and notice that we're trying to keep this as neat as possible, because when it's neater, it also doesn't jar that foil. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to pull this up just a little bit. I think this is going to be my last one. I'm going to have that with my Color Retouch. And when we do, remember that's 1/4 of an inch. So we're going to skim the top, and we're going to pick up 1, drop 2, 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 pick up 1, drop 2. And as soon as we're finished, you'll notice that those are pretty even. Make sure that this is close to the scalp. Load our brush. You gotta be careful because you don't want to pull it away from the scalp. So, you know, you want to be a little gentle with that. Then we're going to fold it right about in half. Cover that up, make this nice and tidy. Go to the end. You don't want to make that packet smaller than the section. If you do, then it's going to pull it away from the scalp. And that's your foiling. You know, depending on your mannequin head, you may need more foils, you may need less. But if you remember, 1/4 inch subsections, skim the top, weave with a 1:2 ratio. Make sure that it stays close to the scalp and keep it as neat as possible.